Hey guys, Halloween Dan here, doing another video about animatronics. Probably going to be the last one I'm going to do for a while, reviewing and reacting to animatronics. I think we've all had our fill of this sort of a video for a while. There's going to be plenty more to talk about in the weeks to come, plenty more things coming into store, plenty more things to eventually here in the UK get buying. I know Spirit opened up its flag store only yesterday and there was loads of excitement around that. So there's loads and loads going on. But I just wanted to, now that I've reviewed and reacted to lots of props, most of them being American exclusive props, I just thought I need to sort of officially whittle down into a band my top 10. So that's exactly what this is. There has been so many to choose from this year, but I have just about managed to reduce it down to 10 props that if I was stateside would be the ones I would be heading for. So get ready and join me whilst I go through my top 10 US exclusive animatronics for 2022. So like I said in the intro, there have been tons and tons and tons of enormous, amazing animatronics coming out left, right and centre. There's been so many I haven't been able to review most of them. There've been other stores that I've not had a chance to fully look over, but I've seen bits and bobs of what they do. In honesty, I've just been focusing on the sort of biggest ones. You've got your Spirit, you've got your Home Depot, and then I even had a quick look at Lowe's and Grandin Road as well. So this is just sort of a combination of what my personal list of US exclusives. By that I mean things that I am not going to get my hands on anytime soon, but I still really love and appreciate. And this has been a really hard list to whittle down. I've manoeuvred it about, I've moved them up and down, I've taken some off, I've added some in. I keep on going back and forth about what I really would put in this list, but at the end I had to be kind of true to myself and true to what I would personally buy. So this is my list. It's not going to be everyone's list. For some of you, you're going to be like, oh no, this prop's technically much more impressive, or oh no, that prop's really, really tacky. Just letting you know, guys, this isn't me saying these are the best. These are just my top 10. That is all. But before we get into my top 10, I thought I'd go down a list of honourable mentions. These are props that I kind of liked, was kind of on the fence about, kind of liked in their own kind of way, but in the end, they didn't make my top 10. Never better luck next year, guys. The first prop to mention was Spirit Monty, the big cymbal clacking monkey. I liked him. He was kind of cool, massive and impressive, but he wouldn't be my favourite prop. He's kind of got the carnival themed thing, so wouldn't really be for me. Also, there is the Goblin Thief from Home Depot. Again, I kind of like this guy. He was kind of awesome. The kids were kind of on the fence about him, but he's quite small. He's only about 4 foot, and although he might not be overly expensive, I actually don't know how much he is or isn't. I just don't think he would really bring anything to my horn. Again, he wouldn't be one I'd be going for. Then there was one of the first US exclusive props I reviewed this year, which was the Grandin Road Haunted Librarian. Now I liked her because I like witch props and she had definite witch vibes, except she'd obviously been sort of disguised, dressed up like a librarian. Next was the Widow from Spirit, with the woman who breaks her neck. I like her. She's very, very different, kind of cool, and she was definitely one of the props from Spirit's range that stood out for me. But really, really creepy, and probably would give my children and my wife nightmares, to be quite honest with you. So, although I like her, she hasn't made the list for that reason. And the last honourable mention is Home Depot's Dean the Deathologist, who, I like him, I like some of the things he said, I like the light up drink and all that side of things. But again, he hasn't made the list because he's just not, I don't know what I'd do with him. I don't know where he'd go in my horn. I don't know what I'd do with him. And with that being said, we move actually into my top 10. These are the props that I have enjoyed seeing the most this year. There's a real mixed bag, so I hope you agree with some of these. In at number 10 is Lowe's Haunted Living 12-foot mummy, which I think is a bit of a sitter on the fence for a lot of people. Yeah, he is 12 foot and really impressive, and that's what I liked about him. But some people have said he's a little bit basic. Some people have said the way he's been made is a little bit questionable. Some people don't like the light up feature. But for me, they're all pluses. Not the not made very well features, but the fact he's 12 foot. I like the fact he lights up. And I like this slightly different spin on the sort of the 12 foot skeleton thing that we've seen many times now. I kind of like that. I like that Lowe's have gone, well, we can't do skeletons, how about a mummy? And it's the same vibe, but dressed up a little bit differently and with these light up features. So he gets a tick from me, but he's in at number 10 because he's not my favourite prop of this year. In at number 9 is another Lowe's prop I reviewed and reacted to, which is the Reaper with Hourglass. So he is a more basic end of the scale prop, but I do love a Reaper. I'm a sucker for a Reaper. Any Reaper or something, anything slightly themed as a Reaper, I enjoy. And the feeling I get about this guy is he probably isn't going to be that expensive. I like the light up face. I like the light up hourglass. I think he's on the more basic end of the scale, but I still kind of enjoy him, and I think he would go well in my horn. So I put him in my top 10, but maybe you might question that. In at number 8 is the 9.5 foot Immortal Werewolf. I thought originally he was 12 foot. I thought, oh god, they're going down this trying to really take over the 12 foot market here, Home Depot. But 9.5 foot, he's still quite impressive. He's still obviously quite a massive prop. And he actually looks really good. I like some of the features. He still looks a bit plasticky to me. I think they could have done more with the form of him in the body. But I like the ripped clothes. I like the fact he lifted his head back to howl and the light up feature in the mouth. With the LCD eyes too, I thought he looked really good, looked really smart. So yeah, he does definitely make the list for me. I do enjoy that werewolf. In at number 7 is a prop that I think this will divide people. But I had to kind of be true to myself. They are the Home Depot Spirit Twins. Now, I said in my last video that I actually really quite like them. I was quite impressed by them. Yeah, they don't do a lot. There's not really any movement at all except for this light up glowing. But I liked the fact they were kind of spooky, ethereal, which is all things I go for in my horn. And I like the fact there's 2 of them. You buy one, get one free almost. You know, $100 is not a lot of money for 2 quite impressive props, each 6 foot. So I like that feature. I like they would go quite well into my horn. And that's always what I'm kind of thinking about when I envisage props. In at number 6 is the first of the spirit props that I would have, was Lord Raven. Now again, it's the Reaper thing with me. He looks a bit like a Reaper, but I did enjoy the movement, his neck kind of moving forward, and he's got this crow face, which is kind of cool. Like I said, he kind of looked like one of those plague doctors almost, which I kind of like the look of that. Kind of eerie and spooky, and just the fact that it looks like this big crow is kind of weird, and I don't know, there's something about that I kind of like. Number 5 is another Home Depot prop, the Illuminated Wizard. We reviewed him only a few days ago, me and my kids. I really liked him. I thought he was kind of cool and different. I think it's that thing of I like a witch prop. He's on the lines of a witch prop, but obviously a wizard. His beard is very cool, his blue light up eyes. I like the satin sort of purpley costume with the blue trim, the light up staff, the light up mystic ball. It's all very cool, it's all elements that I like, and he sounded very imposing and commanding, and as Ella sort of said, he's a mean sounding wizard. Yeah, he did sound a bit mean, but he was kind of cool. I kind of liked him. In at number 4 is another Reaper. Surprisingly enough, I have a bit of a thing for Reapers. This is the Home Depot Smouldering Reaper of Souls, which I again only did a review of the other night. And again, he's kind of similar to things we've seen before. You know, there's been a version of him out at least the year earlier. But I love the red robe. I love the giant scythe with the skull detailing on it. The fact that it's an 8-foot prop is really cool. He's really impressive. He kind of has an extra bit of movement in his head. He's got those red glowing eyes and that red glowing chest. I don't think, as Reaper props go, you can go far wrong with that guy. He's very, very hard to beat. And if he was available in the UK right now, he would definitely be one of the ones I was really trying to get really quite a lot, I think. In at number 3 is my highest reaching Spirit Halloween prop, which is weirdly the Strawman Evil Scarecrow. Now, he's probably not very high on most people's list when it comes to props coming out of Spirit, but I really liked him. He was really creepy. I liked the extra movement he had in his head, them servo motors I think he's got that gives him that extra bit of movement in his shoulders and his head. His face was really creepy, really proper Hissian looked face and them glowing eyes. As Scarecrows go, he was definitely a really quite creepy Scarecrow. If you came across him in a field at night, you would probably be very quickly heading the opposite way away from it. So, yeah, I really did quite like that guy, and he reaches all the way up to number 3. Number 2 is the 12-foot hovering witch. I love a witch prop. Witches are some of my favourite kinds of props that are out there. And when I saw this witch, I thought, wow, this is on a whole other level. Again, I like a witch, and I also like a big prop. And what they've done, which is really clever, I think, Home Depot, is, of course, most of the height of that witch is in the broomstick. She's just kind of clinging and hovering onto the broomstick. But that means that you still get this really quite cool witch animatronic who's, got quite a lot of things to say, and she looks really cool, and her eyes are lit, and her costume looks really, really well put together. And yet she's still a 12-foot prop. The fact that she's 12 foot hasn't taken anything away from her. She's massive. This broomstick is massive. And that thing hovering above you would be so impressive in a horn. I think she is amazing, and I would be more than happy to have her in my horn. But there can be only one winner. And this year, guys, my number 1 favourite animatronic from the US this year is the 15-foot Towering Phantom. I mean, he's not going to be for everyone. Not everyone's going to like this thing. But I just love it. I love big props, and you can't get much bigger than 15 foot. That is enormous. That thing is crazy massive, right? But then the look. I like the look. I like a Phantom. I like all the sort of ethereal gown he's kind of wearing, all kind of ripped and tattered. I like the face detailing, the hands all kind of crinkly and warped and weird looking. I like the light up feature too. I like the fact that his face lights and his arms light and it kind of changes colour. And another element that I found very clever is the addition of fans. They've put fans into the costume to kind of help the tattered gown thing that he's wearing kind of float about in case maybe it's not very windy or there's not really a breeze. Not that in October I think that's really much of an issue. But still, I kind of like that. They've kind of thought about it. Ooh, let's give him a bit of movement. He's not that animatronic really, is he? Let's face it. He's not really moving his arms or lunging forward or anything. But just by putting them fans in, it gives you that extra bit of movement to add to the overall astonishing height of this thing and the fact it lights up and all that kind of stuff. Personally, he's a big winner for me, and I think he's just a winner because of his sheer size. I was so impressed by that prop, I have to say. It completely blew me away when I saw it. As always, guys, this, as I will always say, this is my list. I know it's not going to be for everybody. I know there's probably loads of other animatronics and props that I've left off my list, even out of my honourable mentions, that you would be like, why is he not talking about this prop? Why is he not talking about this particular clown? Why is he not talking about this particular, I don't know, whatever, swamp zombie or something? And don't get me wrong, all of those props, every prop I've seen, I've liked on some level, even some of the clowns this year. But these are just the things that if I was on your side of the pond, if I lived in the US, these are the things I would be personally. That would be my list. That would be what I would be heading out to the stores to buy. And you guys over there, you're just so lucky that you can choose between these things. Just really appreciate how lucky you are when it comes to Halloween and these amazing, amazing props. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. The next few videos I do will probably be in a week or two from now. Maybe like focus on start doing some building and stuff in the next month. I really want to get on with building some things for my own haunt, some tombstones, my pirate ship, new pillars and all kinds of new things I've got planned for this year. And I've really got to, I feel like time is slipping away from me and I've really got to kind of hurry up. So that's what I'll be doing next. So thank you for joining me over these last few weeks. Thank you for watching my videos. And as always, guys, keep it spooky and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.